Alrighty. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of From the Fourth Line. I'm your host. I'm one of your hosts, Emma, and I'm joined as always by my other host, the other person. I don't know where I'm going with this. Marcie is here with me as always.
Hello.
Hello. Well, um, where do we? We'll start with the Leafs, obviously.
Mm.
What a couple of games we've had for the Leafs as of recently.
Yeah, it. I just wonder why did they start playing good on
You
the
know what?
games that are like really late for me?
You know what okay, besides the fact that it's really late, you know what I think may have contributed to this is as someone who lives in Southern Ontario and has experienced the fact that we have today was the first day where I saw the sun for a prolonged period of time because it wasn't cloudy all day and overcast since December 22nd.
That's
So
miserable.
so maybe it has to do with the fact that the Leafs saw some sun in California and are like, "Oh, we're not sad anymore.
It's like they really are just plants.
They're just plants. They really are leaves." So, I mean,
Oh
we'll
God.
start we'll start by talking about the Kings game because actually wow, what a game.
Mm.
What a game. I think that was probably the most 60 minutes of Leafs hockey that we've seen
Yeah,
from the
it
Leafs.
was. Where did it come from?
Because we haven't seen that in a while,
Nope.
and it's fantastic. Obviously, Leafs win 3-0 over the Los Angeles Kings, so they can win some. They can win against good teams.
Yeah,
Shocker, right?
it's just the bad
No,
teams that you can't win against.
it's the full 60 minutes from the Leafs this season. I think probably maybe the most complete game we've seen from them so far. Also,
Yeah.
a very, very sweet night for the Leafs as well, with Nylander and Yarncroke being the only goal scorers on the evening as well. Well, not really evening for most of us, but
Yeah. Early morning.
early morning.
Oh, just straight up morning for me.
Straight up morning, yeah. So Nylander, a little milestone to address here. Nylander hits 50 points with was it the empty netter that he got?
I think so.
It doesn't matter. One of his goals was his 50th point of the night. Just to put that into context, we are that was game 35 of the season. We're not even halfway through the season. 82 games is a long time. And William Nylander's career high for points is 87, which he hit last year.
It. Oh my god.
That's just how insane William Nylander's season has been, this how crazy it's been. He's
Yeah.
been held scoreless in 4 games so far this year?
Yeah. That. What the fuck?
What?
I don't even have any words. It's just like how.
How exactly? Obviously, so there has been some news in terms of his contract discussions because obviously William, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure Everyone knows at this point, he is a UFA at the end of this season. So Elliot Friedman said on the broadcast, and then it's also been reported by Nick Kyprios as well, that both sides, both the Leafs and of course William Nylander's camp, wants to sign by the All-Star game, which is in 3 weeks. Could be, and Elliot Freeman hinted that it could be as early as this week, which
Or what I'm hoping is the next hour.
the
So we
next
can.
hour. Announce it right now.
Could you
Let's
imagine
go.
though?
Oh, I think that would viral moment. But I also as well in terms of numbers, because everyone cares about the numbers, everyone cares about the cap hit. The rumor is that it's going to be an 8-year deal no matter what, which is lovely for those who want to, make an investment in a William Nylander jersey.
I wonder if that could be.
Wonder. And it's also just, it also just shows how much he loves playing in Toronto because, not to say like top stars aren't signing 8-year contracts. It's just, it hasn't really been a trend as of recently, I feel like, except for like the really, really young. But yeah, so that the number is rumored to be in the 11 to 11.25 annual cap hit range. Some people say it's higher. Yes, the cap is going up, but also
if
you
I
think about
offer him a bag of crisps,
do you think he could take less?
I'd be like, I'll buy you 2 bags of crisps and like maybe a coffee if you
sign for 6.
Nice.
But like also the fact that like William Nylander's contract discussion is in like those numbers that are thrown around, that 11 to 11.25. Some even say 11.5 is a number I read in an article as well today. Don't know where we're getting that from, but okay. It's still like, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this. It's like, it's still, you always have to think about the fact of like, what if they signed him during the summer? Could we have gotten him for that? Like Elias Pettersson just re-signed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. In that like $8 million range, which people were saying, oh, that's too much. It's too.
Oh, you think that's too much? Well, good luck.
William Nylander at $8 million next year is a bargain. He is on I think a lot of people forget how much of a bargain contract he is on right now, where his cap hit is like 6.9, less than Morgan Riley. So, William Nylander, have yourself a payday. Also as well, I read a article from The Athletic, and it made a comparison between William Nylander's contract situation and what David Pastrnak went through with the Boston Bruins and his re-signing. And even if William Nylander's annual cap hit is 11.5, with the new increased cap that we're getting reportedly next season, where it's going up like $4 million, that's still less of a cap percentage hit than what David Pastrnak is right now. But also, the cap situation of the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs, two very different situations on how that's getting distributed. Because I don't know if this is a shock to anyone, but like reminder, like Pastrnak is the only Boston Bruin who has on a double-digit salary right now.
That'd be so nice.
Can you imagine that?
Could you imagine if we had the luxury of that much money?
Oh, the luxury we could have. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that in the next few days, next few weeks. Who knows? Turn your tweet notifications on for William Nylander's Twitter. Specifically, knowing how Austin Matthews, how his contract extension got announced. That was like a wild 15 minutes on Twitter because we weren't sure what it meant.
No, we were all sat there just like, what?
I feel like obvious. Like, I don't know if it was like him wanting to announce his own contract extension, or if it was like he wanted to, or there was a miscommunication, and he got.
I want to know what happened.
Because that was actually that was something where it was like,
it was a time.
Okay. Because like also the way it was worded, it was like so weirdly worded. I have the tweet pulled up right here where it was like, I feel fortunate to continue this journey as a Maple Leaf in front of the best fans in hockey. I will do everything I can to help us get to the top of the mountain. Go Leafs, go. # Leafs forever.
I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sounds like what I wrote in my uni application.
that sounds like that just, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't sound like a contract announcement, like a contract extension announcement.
No.
That just like sounds like, oh yeah, no, we lost in the playoffs. You know, next new season's ramping up. Let's go get him again. I don't know. It's given like Matthew Nice on LinkedIn.
I was just thinking that.
Which, oh, God.
I was like, is it appropriate to bring up Matthew Nice's LinkedIn?
Oh God.
Which, by the way, is the most entertaining 5 minutes of my life.
The fact, like, so many like NHLers who go the college route end up being like business majors, which is really, really funny because all of them have a LinkedIn then, because every single business major has a LinkedIn. How do I know? I used to be a business major. I have a LinkedIn.
I'm glad you recovered.
I've recovered. But like I still have a LinkedIn that I actually have to like probably kind of update because I haven't updated it in like a year and a half. So still, yeah. But we'll see. We'll find out. Honestly, if anything, like we all remember how Nylander, like his iconic Instagram post for when he re-signed this contract that he's currently on, and like announced it by posting a picture of his bags and like coming back home.
We need more of that.
We need more of that. We need more of professional athletes announcing their own contract extensions before the team officially does it, because it's so much fun.
It's so funny.
It's so much fun. But enough about Nylander. Although we could probably keep talking about him forever because he's like that kind of dynamic of a player. I want to highlight Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yes.
Specifically his assist on the Yarncroke goal. He had 2 assists. But specifically the assist on the Yarncroke goal. 1 glove.
Insane.
He's such a wacky dude. And like he makes it work.
If you had to guess out of any of the Leafs who would be most likely to get an assist with 1 glove, it would be Bertuzzi.
It would be Tyler Bertuzzi, yeah. And then they showed his tape job on the like his not like that singular little sliver of tape on the top of his stick. Because he has no knob on his stick.
I need to just like put him under a microscope.
I'd love to know, as someone who very recently was on ice with skates and a hockey stick, my knees have still not recovered, by the way. They are actually purple. They are actually purple. I just like I can't, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, how do you do that? Yeah, how does it not like slip right out of your hand? Anyways, he played fantastic. I think he's playing very, very well. I think people maybe expected more from him in terms of like actual goals being scored, but I think also you have to think about he's just been getting high on the vibes, but also I think he's been like pretty unlucky in terms of his scoring, like just his shots on net not going in. Like he's had so many good chances, and for him to be only at 6 goals and 10 assists is like doesn't do justice to what he's been doing out on the ice for sure.
Yeah. Like you'd think he'd have so much more.
Oh yeah, but I think like that second line of Bertuzzi, Tavares, and Nylander,
beautiful,
fantastic, beautiful, incredible. Also, shout out to Martin Jones very solid between the pipes.
Yeah,
He nets his 30th career shutout and leads the Leafs goalies with 2 on the season.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Honestly, if you had told me in October that we would be on our 3rd and 4th string goalies, I'd have probably cried.
Yeah.
And then, you know, have erased all hopes of the Leafs making it to the playoffs. But who knows?
Here we are.
Here we are. Martin Jones. Yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add about this specific game.
Yeah, I've got Martin Jones is the 74th goalie in NHL history to hit 30 shutouts.
Wow.
Good for him. Look at him go. I also would like to highlight Benoit.
Oh, remember, Marcie, keep it PG. Simon Benoit. Oh my god.
What a man.
He's yet to score with the Leafs so far this season, but like I don't think that's a problem because he's been fantastic for the Leafs on the blue line.
He is, like, everyone's like, he's not been scoring yet, but
he said it himself. He said it himself. If you watch the blueprint that was posted today from the Leafs, he said, I may not be scoring goals, but I am hitting bodies out there. And he's so right. He had 2 fights. Leafs played back-to-back. He fought twice. He fought in both games.
And you know what? I've just got, in my notes, I've just got Benoit in the box, teehee.
He took on, oh my god, who was, I know, like, at one point, because there was that hit to Austin into the boards, and then I'm pulling up the Kings lineup right now. I don't want the Sacramento Kings, I want the Los Angeles Kings. It was Drew Doughty. Like, Benoit had pulled out of that pile of people. He had like Doughty, who, by any man who goes up against Drew Doughty is the bravest man I've ever met, because Drew Doughty is like so much respect, because Drew Doughty is just ridiculous of a man. But I'm trying to remember of like who was the other guy he pulled out of that pile, and I like actually can't, because it was two. One of them was Drew Doughty, and the other one I can't remember. Like, I'm sure if you looked at the video, you could see who it is.
Yeah, like he fully just hits them up and just yanks them out, and I'm like,
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at like the Kings lineup. They are big bodies. It is a big team. Whoa.
I just think that Simon Benoit. No other word.
Talbot's 39? Oh, no, that's his number. I was about to be like,
I was like, what?
I was like, no, that was his number. He's actually the same age as Sidney Crosby.
Oh, Grandpa.
But it's like, yeah. So just, anyways, applaud Simon Benoit, and he also played great against his former team in the Ducks last night as well. So yeah, which we'll talk about that game for sure. I don't know if you have anything else.
No, I think that's it for me.
Okay. Just one. I will just add one thing. On a couple days ago, there was Brad Shilliving talked to the media and provided an update on Matt Murray. "Quote unquote, he's doing well."
Thanks, Brad.
That really tells us a lot about. I mean, we're all
thanks for clearing everything up for us there.
Thanks for clearing anything up. I mean, obviously, like, can't wait till the discussion start of like, is Matt Murray an option for the Leafs? I don't think so.
I think when we reach that point, I think that might be it for me. I think that might be my final straw.
Yeah.
What a great update though.
A fantastic update. So yeah, let's talk about the Ducks game. Jones to start in back-to-back games. No, of course that was a decision. That was a decision I like. It makes sense, yes. But also at the same time, like if you were going to call, like, yes, you would have to call up a goalie anyways to replace Samsonov. Absolutely. If you were going to call up Hildeby and you wanted to get him into a game, that was the game to do it. Unless you are planning on starting him against the Sharks on Saturday, which. But yeah, like I guess because like also at the same time you go into, if I pull up the Leafs schedule, like they go into kind of a tough schedule. Like they play the Sharks Saturday and then they play the Sharks again Monday. And then they go into kind of a tough schedule just in terms of like the teams they face. Like Islander, I guess not Islanders, but like,
it's not gonna.
It's the Islanders
combined with everyone else. It's not.
Well, it's the Islanders in Long Island. It's on the road game. So
my favorite.
You know how that was also go. Then it's Avs, Red Wings, Oilers, Flames, which are always a very physical team, Canucks, Kraken, and then 2 games against the Jets before you go into the All-Star break. So,
which hopefully Joseph Woll will be back.
Fingers crossed. We haven't gotten a Joseph Woll update in a while, which is making me kind of nervous, but yeah. So I don't really see anywhere kind of on that schedule where you could not throw in, but not be it like a crazy thing unless you have him start one of those games against the Sharks. Mostly just because, like, not even just to get him into a game, but it's like to give Martin Jones like some relief because hate to break it to people who are unfamiliar, aka the Leafs, like if you overplay your starting goalie, odds are you're going to get hurt. If Martin Jones gets hurt, we're screwed. Because you're either calling back up Samsonov or you're calling up Keith Petruzzelli, which no offense to Keith Petruzzelli, but like not putting the best stat line down right now in the AHL for the Marlies.
No. So, I just think it's kind of unfair to Hildeby to call him up when he's having such a good run and then just be like, hi, we know you're playing really
we're going to sit you and he's going to get cold.
Yeah, and then we're just going to, get comfy on the bench, bitch. Bring some pillows, a couple blankets, because you're going to be there a while, and we're just not going to use you. And then he's going to go back, and chances are it's not going to be much fun for him because he's going to have just been doing fuck all for however long this goes on for.
Yeah. No, exactly. You're exactly right. Also, I think another thing we are going to have to talk about is the Bobby McMahon hit on Mintyukov.
Yeah.
So if you like, this is the thing where it's like I was watching the game and then my parents came home and my dad was like, I asked him, and he like the first thing he said, because they were talking about it on the panel, he was like, that, pardon my French, but this is a direct quote from my father, was, that call was bullshit. And just in terms of the fact of like it was a 5-minute boarding and a game misconduct.
Yeah. It was like, was it the best thing for him to do?
No.
Probably not. No.
Probably not. But also you have to think about the fact that was it also the fact that Mintyukov put himself in a vulnerable position? Also, yes. And it was shoulder to shoulder hit. Like he wasn't hitting the numbers. Right? Mintyukov is not injured. He was like not like injured enough to leave the game. He did get cut on his face, but superficial injuries.
Yeah.
And I also think the thing that really just pisses me off about the whole situation is the lack of consistency from the NHL when it comes to these sorts of play. Like when it comes to calling hits. It's because we've seen this, like, you know, you think about Nick Cousins' hit, oh my god, it wasn't on Zucker, it was the one that Zucker hit for. Like it was the reason why Zucker hit Cousins, and I can't remember the player on the Coyotes who it was.
No.
But that hit, right? Like that Cousins hit, no call on the play.
And it's like,
and then you have something that looks really similar, 5-minute boarding, game misconduct.
Yeah. And it's like, just like, we're not asking for much, we're literally just asking for some kind of consistency with it.
Yeah.
Because like, if you're not calling things that you should on like some occasions and then you are on others, what message is that sending? Because to me, that's going to give the impression to a lot of players, it's like, oh, there's a chance I'll be able to get away with it, which is basically going to mean people are going to get hurt because the refs aren't calling it and it's not been like handled right. So then you're going to have injured players because people think they can get away with it.
Exactly. Like, just look at the Minnesota Wild right now, where like 50% of their cap is injured.
Yeah.
Like 50% of their salary cap is out injured right now. Which is ridiculous, by the way. That's actually that's crazy.
Like, I know I said like the Leafs were being held together by Morgan Rielly in a dream. The Minnesota Wild are being held together by like just a single
Faber and his 40 minutes of ice time.
They're being held together by Brock Faber and like the amount of tape on Tyler Bertuzzi's stick. Like that's the kind of situation they're in right now.
Yeah. And it's not, and like this sort of thing where it's like you want to reduce injured players, obviously, because players shouldn't be getting injured, but also it's just like anyways.
Minnesota, guys.
Then you got McMahon going up against Lyubushkin for like Lyubushkin then fought McMahon for the hit. I will say good job on McMahon for holding his own against Ilya Lyubushkin.
Yeah.
Leafs legend, by the way. Leafs legend. I'm pretty sure actually you could probably like go onto Real Sports and buy his like game worn jersey or something.
Probably.
I think you can actually, right up there with all of the Justin Holl jerseys they have.
Stop, because we all know.
So then Frank Petrano scores on the pursuing power play for the not on the pursuing power. Then Frank Petrano scores a shorthanded goal. I'm looking at two different lines of notes at the same time to make it 1-0. Leafs power play has been in a rut recently. Like they did go on to score. John Tavares went on to score on the power play to tie it up, but they have been. It hasn't been
miserable.
It hasn't been clicking as of recently. And you look at the kind of guys that are on that power play, and you think, oh, you guys should be scoring more goals than you are.
Yeah.
Can we also just give a huge shout out to Ducks goaltender Lucas Dostal
Yeah.
because
That was an insane game for him.
He faced 57 shots in the game. Now, this game ended up going to overtime, yes, so it was only 54 shots in regulation, which is insane. Or well, 55 shots. I think they updated one of the shots. 55 shots in regulation, which is by franchise record, by the way.
We love to see it.
Franchise record.
We love to see our baby goalies winning.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Young Czech goalie. Just want to say, fuck the Toronto Sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that pisses me off as someone who grew up in Toronto than the Toronto Sun. Like, it's an absolute rag of a newspaper, in my opinion. In my highly educated opinion, it's an absolute rag of a newspaper.
Yeah. Just fuck the Sun.
Fuck the Sun. But yeah. He had a fantastic game. Unfortunately, he plays for the Anaheim Ducks. Like, that's what I have to say. Like, unfortunately, plays for the Ducks. So
and as well, I need to beef Steve Dangle a bit.
Go on.
Because I was watching. This has been a long time coming.
Oh God.
I was watching the LFR, and he was like,
for last night's game.
Yeah, and he was like, and he made like a big point about like, oh, like Dostal was like 23, like a year older than Hildeby, and he was like, basically saying like, I don't know why everyone's making such a big deal about like impacting the development of Hildeby, and I'm like, you do. There are two very different situations. The age, like between them, does not matter. It's irrelevant because on one hand, you've got a 23-year-old goalie who has played in the NHL and played well, and then you've got an AHL goalie who is still in his first season in North America. You can't be like, oh, they're the same age, so it's like, well, not the same age, but like they're really close in age, so it's not a big deal, not as big of a deal as everyone's making out to be. And I'm like, Steve, my guy.
Yeah, just to like throw it out there, Lucas Dostal, I'm just looking at his elite prospects page. Lucas Dostal was also drafted in 20. Hold on, I'm just trying to find out Dennis Hildeby's draft year, but Lucas Dostal played 19 NHL games for the Ducks last year. He made his NHL debut in 2021. So developmentally, I would put him kind of in the same realm as Joseph Woll.
Well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hildeby was 2022.
Hildeby, yeah. I was going to say, it was like Hildeby was a late pick. Yeah, 2022. Like, he was drafted late. I say he was drafted in the last year of his eligibility. Lucas Dostal was drafted, I think, in the first year of his eligibility. Dostal played 24 in the 2021-22 season. He played 40 games for the San Diego Gulls and 4 games for the Anaheim Ducks. And then last season he played 19 games for the Ducks and 34 games in the AHL. And this year so far this season he's played 16 games for the Ducks. So I would put him developmentally along the same path as Joseph Woll. Like, people develop differently and athletes develop differently, even if they're in similar age. It's all dependent on situation and sort of what resources you have available to, that sort of thing. Give Hildeby his time. Like, I don't want to hold him back. I also don't want to rush him.
Yeah. And I think, that, like, generally I quite enjoyed last night's LFR. It was, not too bad, but that really just, like, pissed me off because I'm like, Steve, stop selectively using information and ignoring.
Like,
the more important parts of it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now, in overtime, Austin Matthews scores number 30th, making him the first player to hit 30 in the 30 goals in the NHL, not 30 years old, in the winner. Fun fact, though this is where I had a little bit of fun with it. It was his first game-winning goal of the season, right? Which is crazy. The fact it took him to get to 30 to get his first game winning. Think about all the goals he scored this season. It's like none of them were the game winner. To put that into perspective, just in terms of like how like weird that is, Penguins' Jeff Carter has 3. He's only scored 4 goals this season. Big up Jeff Carter. Way to come in clutch for the Penguins. Another player with 3, but he is like the most like he specializes in game-winning goals. It seems like New York Rangers and Leafs legend Jimmy Vesey. Leafs legend Jimmy Vesey. Also has 3 this season, but like it's like some ridiculous stat that I saw where it was like 27 or like 21 or 20 of his like 27 of his like 90 career goals are game winners, which is crazy.
What the fuck?
Like, what the Jimmy Vesey is an anomaly in like every single way possible. It feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, just crazy. I don't know if you have anything else you want to say about the Leafs before we dive into some All-Star game chat.
Yeah, I think my main point was just taking my opportunity to beef Steve Dangle.
But yeah, anyways, big ups.
Podcast against podcast.
Yeah. Podcast versus podcast. Big up Benoit though. He gets the belt for the Ducks game. and you could, if you were on Leafs Twitter, you could not miss it because it was your entire timeline was just that picture. And if you followed Marcie on her
I'm gonna see how many times.
It was so many times. It was so many times. It got to the point where I was like, am I just seeing like the same tweet twice?
Nope.
Nope. This is Marcie losing her mind over a Quebecois landlord.
I'm just, oh my, oh, it was bad.
Really bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 quote tweets.
That's actually something else.
I'm proud. That's an achievement for me.
Actually, that also doesn't include like the multitude of and also the ones on your main Twitter as well. Because you know what? I'm laughing about this. You know, Simon Benoit's only played 22 games this season for the Leafs. But I love how he's been able to find a spot for himself in the lineup for sure. He didn't start the season with the Leafs. He didn't have a great camp. And he's been able to find himself a spot in this lineup with the Leafs, and I think that's fantastic, and I think that's really great. And he adds a side of the Leafs defense that the Leafs were kind of lacking at the start of the season because we lost Luke Schenn. Like he fills that sort of Luke Schenn role of just being
in my heart.
Yeah, they wear the same number too.
I miss him.
Miss Luke Schenn, but yeah, just like that physical, you know, present. Like, he'll fight guys. He'll fight guys. We've seen it. We've seen it. He'll fight guys, no matter like how big they are. He'll fight Drew Doughty.
Yeah.
I don't know how many guys in the league will willingly fight Drew Doughty.
But
I
I just need to
Yeah,
give
also just
a quick
one more
shout out.
last note.
I need to give a quick shout out to Liz for just her DMs last night. She knows what she did. She knows what she did.
Oh, mouth. So just one last little thing on the Leafs versus Ducks. Notably absent from the lineup because of illness is Radko Gudas. So the Leafs will have to wait until the next time they play the Ducks to have their rematch against Gudas after the infamous picture that cannot escape. If I could block an image on Twitter, like if I could not block, but like if I could mute an image on Twitter, I would, and it would be that image of him yelling in Joseph Wool's face after Game 5. Maybe next time they play the Ducks, Joseph Wool will be healthy and can.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope by February 17th.
Oh, that's when it is?
Joseph Wool is back healthy and playing that game, and I hope that he himself scores the game-winning goal for the Leafs, and it just screams in his face. I hope we get the Joseph Wool revenge tour.
Joseph, I am waiting for the Joseph Wool revenge tour for when he comes back from injury. I'm so excited. Switching gears though a little bit, the All-Star game. So big night for all you All-Star game people, fans. The 32 team reps will be announced tonight. The Eastern Conference will be announced pre-game of the Pens versus Bruins game at 6:50, and the Western Conference will be announced during first intermission. So each team will have a representative from them at the All-Star game, and then fan voting will choose the players for the remaining 12 slots to bring the total players attending the All-Star game up to 44. That fan voting will start tonight and will run until January 11th. So one week. And it, if I remember correctly, it will be, you will able to vote on the NHL app. Wow, lovely. NHL.com or on Twitter. There will also be a fan vote to select 4 of the 12 players who will participate in the Connor McDavid designed skills competition, trademarked. The fan vote will run from January 13th to 18th. There's not really many more details on how that will be run, but you can probably assume it'll be the same. So we thought it would be fun to go through the 32 teams and name our All-Stars.
Yes.
Now, the problem I realized when I was doing this was primarily the fact that it's hard. This is hard. There's some teams where it's really, really obvious on who you think should go, but other times because you also have to you can't just send 32 forwards. You also have to send defensemen and goalies. You have to send you have to send 8 goalies. And you also so you also have to pick defensemen, and then I had struggled with it, but we'll start alphabetically, I guess. Marcie, who is your pick for the Anaheim Ducks?
My pick was Trevor Zegras, just because I think it's Trevor Zegras.
Even
him. Ideally, in my heart, I want a Jamie Drysdale All-Star game. But he's literally just got back, so I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, so did Zegras. They both just came back from injury, but I can't really think of anyone else on the Ducks with that sort of star power, and also the kind of guy who would want to go. There's not a lot of players who like the All-Star game. In fact, I don't know if there is any who do, but yeah. So Arizona Coyotes, then I'll take this one. My pick, Clayton Keller.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've gone with my heart
If you say
Leafs
Alexander
legend.
Kerfoot, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
Leafs legend Alex Kerfoot.
Jesus fuck. I mean, if you want some other options in there, because obviously, like, you could send Leafs legend Travis Dermott.
You could.
But Logan Cooley, if you want some, you want to get some young guys there, I think that's also just really cool to send some young guys as well. But if you need a defenseman, may I suggest Sean Durzi? He's having a pretty great season. Yeah, if we accidentally name a player who's currently injured, apologies. A lot of the league is injured now.
My bad.
Okay, Marcie, who's your pick for the Boston Bruins?
Jeremy Swayman.
Jeremy's. I mean, yeah. Some other option. I had Allmark down for the Bruins. I mean, why don't you send both?
Yeah, the thing is, I've got them like both down, but I was like, I desperately just want to see Jeremy Swayman there.
Yeah, I mean, of course, obviously, we need to send some goalies, and I mean, at the end of the day, is it that bad to have your both Atlantic goalies to be from the same team? Who knows? Because who else are you gonna send? Because no offense to Vasilevsky, it ain't him this year.
No.
Buffalo Sabres is me. Tage Thompson's the obvious choice. I'm just thinking of like that sort of like.
Yeah, I've got where's it gone?
If you say Jeff Skinner.
Yeah, I've got Jeff Skinner. Yeah. I'm catering my All-Star selections to me and my group of little guys.
Yeah, Rasmus Dahlin, another option. Again, if you need to fill, like, because you can't just send like 40. You can't send 42 forwards. You have to send some defensemen. So obviously,
honorable
there's going to be a
mention
couple
for Cal, Owen Power.
Owen Power. He's having actually a pretty great year too. So
he is.
Yeah,
he is saying.
Again, I think, also like it's nice to send some old, send some true, all-stars who have been to the game multiple times. I think it's just also fun to send some young guys and let them have some fun with it. I remember when Jack Hughes and Trevor Zegras went to the All-Star game for the first time and they had fun with it. Because it's a new experience, and if it's a new experience for guys, they have fun with it. But if you're sending Sidney Crosby to his like 7th All-Star game, he's not gonna have
dragging
fun.
Him there, kicking and screaming.
Or your Alex Ovechkin, who just comes up with a new illness to come down with coincidence like the same week accidentally. Oops, sorry, I'm sick again.
Oh God, I hate when this happens every damn year.
Every year. Okay, next for you, Marcie, the Calgary Flames.
I'm not gonna lie, I struggled with this one, mainly just because I genuinely don't think there's a team that I paid less attention to
than the Calgary Flames.
I mean, there's a few, but they're at the bottom of my I care about you list.
They also
yeah, no one really like massively stands out to me.
Send Kadri. I mean, you could always send Kadri again, I guess. Leafs legend, Nazem Kadri. Mackenzie Weegar. Why not send a defenseman? Ottawa local.
Why not?
Why not? I'm like looking. I'm like, I can't really. There's not.
No,
yeah. It's slim pickings. Apologies to the Calgary Flames.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
Again, this is like one of those things where it's like you have trouble with it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, it was a struggle.
Yeah, it is a struggle. Next up, it's me with the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Aho.
Yeah. You can't not.
Easy. I mean, you can also send Svechnikov, who missed quite a bit of this season, injured.
Do you know who else they could send?
Leafs legend.
Michael Bunting.
He's third in the team in points, so
Exactly. Bring him home.
yeah, bring him home because
bring him home.
I think that would be fun. I feel like this is an easy one.
Yeah. Who? I wonder. Who would we send?
Peter Mrazek. Leafs legend. Peter Mrazek. He was so shit with us.
Leafs legend.
Leafs legend.
Yeah, I think it's just like the tiniest little bit obvious.
It's Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
I hope that's who you were gonna say, and not Kevin Korchinski. That is the legit the only other Blackhawk that came to mind.
Yeah, I wrote Chicago and just absolutely fucking no one, and then just in brackets Bedard, because as much as I would like to have no one from Chicago appear, it's an obvious one.
Yeah. Also as well, like, I would love it, however, if because the All-Star games in Toronto, they just send like everyone used to put like just All-Star game of just Leafs legends, where it's just a bunch of guys who used to play. Like each team is just whoever used to play for the Leafs.
Yes, and then they bring us in to talk about it. Like we have a whole panel.
The whole panel, and it's just being like, oh yeah, Leafs.
Remember when you did this? Remember when Leafs legend Michael Bunting?
Yeah, Leafs legend Justin Hall threw a puck against Dallas Stars.
Do you reckon that's like one of the things Connor McDavid included in his little skills competition, like a secret little puck throwing competition? Like, who can recreate the most iconic moment in NHL history? Justin Hall throwing the puck.
Okay, next, me with the Colorado Avalanche. This may be a little bit of a do. The obvious pick is Nathan McKinnon. But because we have to work in some defensemen, I'm going to say Cale Makar.
Yeah.
Also, just because I feel like he needs redemption from last year with him falling in the fastest skater competition.
He's either gonna redeem himself or he's falling over.
Or twice. He's going to come down with a mysterious illness that is going to rule him out for the All-Star game. Because he can't show his face. Okay, Marcie, you're next with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
I once again, in the nicest of possible, do not really keep up with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I've just kind of gone with Adam Fantilli because
that's also who I have down as well. I also
it's a young guy who's not been to an All-Star game before, so he's less likely to think, "Oh fuck me, another All-Star game."
Also,
like, he's gonna enjoy it.
Also, yeah, send him there. He's friends with Bedard, right?
Yeah, and he's not a Leafs legend yet.
He's not a Leafs legend yet. Yeah.
Yep. This All-Star game is just a way of like poaching future Leafs legends.
Exactly. So I'm next with the Dallas Stars. Jason Robertson, obvious choice. He went last year. Send him again. Or you could send Leafs legend Mason Marchment. I'm sorry. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. Or, also as well, because we do need to work in some goal. Like, I mean, I guess you could also send Jake Ottinger if you want to work in some goalies. But I feel like, I don't. The Central is pretty. Is the Central? Actually, it's not really stacked in terms of goaltending. I'm looking at those teams. Yeah. Next, Marcie, Detroit Red Wings.
Leafs legend Justin Hall. You're gonna get so sick of me by the end of this.
He's been healthy scratched so many times.
Yeah, because they're saving him for the All-Star game. They don't want him to get injured. He needs to be at his physical peak.
Okay. Alex DeBrincat is. Some people may argue send Dylan Larkin. I say we send Alex DeBrincat. Mostly just because, like, I feel like I see Dylan Larkin at these, like, every single year as the Detroit Red Wings, like, representative.
Yeah,
I'm saying switch it up. Or we send Moritz Seider.
That's a shout.
Yeah, as a defenseman.
I
know who we're not sending, that's for sure. You should not be named. I'm not talking about Justin Hall. I'm next with the Edmonton Oilers. I feel like the very obvious pick here. Gonna get it out of the way. McDavid.
Yeah.
Like, if he designed the skills comp, he's going. I feel like.
Oh yeah, he will be there one way or another.
Yeah, and I think it's him. He's had he's missed a few games. He's been on fire ever since he's gotten back. Some people may be like, oh, let's send Draisaitl.
That man does not want to go anywhere near the All-Star game.
No, he doesn't.
Like,
So you're next with the Florida Panthers.
We've gone with Matthew Tkachuk just because I want to see him there again.
Oh, it's so fun when the Tkachuk brothers are at the All-Star game.
Yeah, it provides so much just pure entertainment. Like, sorry to like literally everyone else on the Panthers, but you didn't even get a look in.
Yeah. Alrighty. I am up next with the LA Kings. Anze Kopitar.
Yeah, I couldn't really. Again, no one stood out to me too much apart from him, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you could also send Kempe, but go with. Or if we want to send goalies again, because we have to think about goalies too, unfortunately, but is send Cam Talbot, because I'm just looking at his stat line right here. In 25 games played, he has a goals against average of 2.10 and a save percentage of 925.
Yeah, like, he's always a shout.
So yeah. Again, we have to think about goalies that you send because goalies are fun.
Yeah.
Marcie, you're next with the Minnesota Wild. AKA, it's who's going to be healthy. Will Kaprizov be back in time for the All-Star game?
At this point, I'm not convinced they didn't just like take him out back and shoot him. Like, I once again went with my heart. Brock Faber, because
I respect.
He's like, I think the only healthy Wild player at this point. So, fuck it. Let's send him. It's not like he needs a break or anything.
It's not like he could deserve a week off.
Yeah, it's not like he deserves like a single lion.
Yeah, but no, again, send more young guys. Not saying that Kirill Kaprizov is old necessarily, but like
his bones are creaking.
Yeah, send some young guys there, and again, need to get some defensemen. We haven't really been paying attention to like how our defensemen rolled up. I'm next with the Montreal Canadiens. This is a fun one because I guess we could just send Nick Suzuki again for what seems like the third year in a row. Have him win another like Chipotle year of Chipotle, like free Chipotle. But yeah.
I settled on Cole Caulfield just because I like seeing short men. I think it's funny.
I feel like that's one of those things where it's like one of them will go and the other one will be a part of the fan vote.
Yeah. Because it's like they're both very much like I was stuck between the two of them. I was like, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
Or probably both at this point.
All right. I was up with the Canadians. Marcie, it's your turn with the Nashville Predators.
Leafs legend Tyson Barrie.
He wants out of there. You didn't even go with Ryan O'Reilly.
Send all three. Fan vote. Bring him home.
Bring him home. Yeah, or Philip Forsberg, also a fantastic option. He's sitting at 42 points, which didn't realize that. So send the mustache to Toronto.
Yes.
But yeah, again, a lot of good options. Despite the record that they had earlier this season. I'm next with great. New Jersey Devils. I don't hate the Devils. I just feel very, very afraid talking about the Hughes brothers.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary how many of like the tweets that I've like every so often I'll tweet about the Hughes brothers, and it's mostly just like me being like, oh look, silly joke I'm making about like Luke Hughes sitting up in the Devils press box making memes about Jack Hughes chipping his tooth and then sending them into the family group chat. And then like next thing I know, it's gonna get like over 1,000 likes, and I'm sitting there like, what is going on? But again, obvious choice is Jack Hughes. Sure.
I personally think we should send Dawson Mercer because it's not Jack Hughes.
Newfoundlander?
Yeah, and he's also just played really well. And I think give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you could also send Jesper Bratt, but I feel like Jack Hughes will be like the obvious choice here. He's 45 like points in 31 games.
He's similar to Connor McDavid in the fact that it doesn't matter if he wants to go or not, he will.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jack Hughes, he's become synonymous with the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's.
Next up, we've got Marcie with the New York Islanders.
I struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I don't pay attention to the Islanders. This is just kind of like a whole episode exposing me of like how many teams I just don't
pay attention to. Yeah. May I have a suggestion? I feel like we need to slot in a defenseman here. Noah Dobson. 36 points in 37 games. That's
Mm.
ridiculous. Fairly young guy. He's only 23.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm just like looking at the roster and I've just realized the most
Leafs
hilarious
Leafs
option.
legend. Garang. Or are you thinking about sending Sebastian Aho?
Yeah.
No, that won't get confusing.
I just think that'd be really funny.
I mean, you could
And
also you could also send Leafs legend Matt Martin.
You could. I still think we should just send every Leafs legend ever.
Or you could of course always send Ilya Sorokin, and I feel like that's just like a safe bet every year.
Yeah, you should like your safe.
Yeah. I am next with the New York Rangers. I am going to send again Panarin. Easy choice.
I
like my or yeah.
Adam Fox is another
Adam, yeah.
another
Or
shout.
again, goaltender option. Jonathan Quick.
Or
Are you about
Leafs.
to say shit? Which one? You've got choices to pick from here. That's the thing.
I think my favorite Leafs legend would be Jimmy Vesey. I think we should send him.
Send Jimmy Vesey. I was gonna say, I was like, you could also send Leafs legend Eric Gustafsson.
You could.
Or Sens legend Mika Zibanejad.
All very good options.
Just saying out there for all you New York Rangers fans who are going to, participate in the fan vote, you guys have options for this fan vote, because Panarin I feel like is a very easy shoe-in, but like you could send in Zibanejad. He's had a pretty good season. Panarin has had an unreal season. But
he's insane.
Marcie, you're next with the Ottawa Senators.
I think purely for entertainment value, we should send Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah. I mean, send both Tkachuk brothers. You're going to send one, send the other. The other thing as well that I'm just going to throw out there, Tim Stützle. He's had a pretty good season. I think Tim Stützle, I would love to see. Now I know the format of the skills comp has changed. Would love to see Tim Stützle in a shootout like a shot competition.
Yeah. Or
Claude Giroux. Love you, Claude.
I put on my Sunday best for this podcast.
Amazing. Well, speaking of Claude Giroux, I'm next with the Philadelphia Flyers. Weirdly, like underratedly good team this year, Philadelphia. Like a little bit of a bounce back. Send Travis Konechny.
Yeah.
Or Carter Hart if you, again, goaltenders, we have to think goalies. If you want a defenseman, Travis Sanheim. But Travis Konechny has had a pretty good season. He's 33 points in 37 games. Yeah. All right, Marcie, you're up next with maybe the hardest team on this list. San Jose.
Oh shit, did I miss them?
Did you forget a team?
Oh no, we missed the Penguins.
You missed the Penguins?
No, I said we missed the Penguins because they're above.
Not in the, I'm going alphabetically. Oh, did I? Oh, I did miss the Penguins.
He comes before S.
I forgot the Penguins. Sorry, I was like, sorry, Marcie, you're up. I have the hardest team with the Sharks. Marcie, you have the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I would personally like to send Leafs legend. No,
I would love to know when this bit gets too old for people.
Yeah, at what point do people just think, Jesus fucking Christ?
Enough's enough with the bit.
It will for us, I don't think it'll ever get old.
No, it's my favorite bit to do. But I'm sure for some other people, this got old.
Like, I do have people listening to this, like, seriously wanting to know who we'd send.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you've
just
got
us
me sending looking Justin Hall.
it's just going Leafs legend.
Leafs legend.
Like, okay, may I just throw a suggestion for the Pittsburgh Penguins? Because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, send Sidney Crosby. It's so obvious.
I only wonder if there's another dunk tank.
I don't think there's gonna be a dunk tank. A dunk tank. Freudian slip there, eh? A dunk tank because it's February in Toronto and it's freezing cold. Unfortunately, we're not in Florida, but I think we should send Jake Gunsel. Like, the problem with having like Sidney Crosby on your team is that, and I think
even get a look in.
Evgeny Malkin's gonna have the same issue as like has had this issue his entire career. Is like you're always going to be compared to Sidney Crosby, and no one's gonna beat Sidney Crosby. So send Jake Gunsel. He's had 42 points on the year. I think he's had a pretty great season. Or if you want some defensemen, send Derek Carlson. Yeah. Because yeah. Or goalie goals, you can send Tristan Yari. Again, goaltending. We have to cover all the positions here because I don't know how it's gonna all lay out. Here I am with the hardest team. Sorry. No offense to San Jose Sharks and their fans. It's just a difficult one with the San Jose Sharks on who to send because it's
the San Jose Sharks.
It's the San Jose Sharks. Holy whoa, they have like so few people on. Oh, whoa, their roster. Looking at their roster page is actually insane. Because it's like all these grayed out players. Thomas Hertl, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you can send William Eklund. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, who do you send? And there's not a lot of choices, unfortunately. So I guess Thomas Hertl. Again, apologies to the San Jose Sharks and their fans.
Yeah, love you.
Love you. Marcie, you're next with the Seattle Kraken.
I would like to send Joey Decord.
Yeah.
Just because thinking of goalies and also just look at him. I want to see him have fun. Why not?
All right. I'm next with the St. Louis Blues. Again, another hard team. I guess, do you send Robert Thomas? 24-year-old. So he's a young guy. 39 points in 36 games.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Robert Thomas, you are a 2024 All-Star. Marcie, you are next with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Ooh, decisions.
I know who I'm sending, but I would love to hear your opinion.
Nikita Kucherov. Why not?
That's who I had down. Glad we could agree.
So glad we could agree on that.
We are so good at this. We are just on the same level. I am next with the host team, though.
I think we may be receiving a visit very soon.
Alrighty. Well,
You know, we can't even say Leafs legend because that's quite literally everyone.
Yeah, Leafs. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the home team here. Leafs legend. You know what? William Nylander.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry to Austin Matthews. Yeah, he scored 30 goals. William
Also, he
Nylander.
probably wants a break.
Yeah, also he's gone to every single one that he's been eligible for. Like he's been named to every single one that he's been eligible for. He didn't go last year because he was hurt, in quotations. But William Nylander, I think, he's had a fantastic season. I think it's about time that he gets his chance in the spotlight. And I feel like if you put Austin Matthews in your fan vote, he will surely get voted in if you really want to send him that badly.
Yeah. I have 3 people who I would like to see. 4, technically. So a hope and a dream. Joseph Wall.
We wish. We need some goaltending.
A hope and a dream. I would also like to see Simon Benoit, Noah Gregor, and Bobby McMahon. Leafs legends.
Leafs legends. Yeah. You are next.
I don't need to explain it. I just need to see.
They're
like I get people randomly DMing me about them, and that's how I know I've created a brand.
All right, Marcie, you are next with the Vancouver Canucks. Trying to keep us moving because we're running long, but
oh shit, yeah, we are. I have got Quinn Hughes or Brock Besser. Either I'd be happy with. Ideally, both.
It's like Vancouver's one of those teams where, like, surely I'm like, if you send Brock Besser, Quinn Hughes will get voted into through the fan vote. I am next with the Vegas Golden Knights. Now here's if he's healthy, Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
If he's still injured, I would send Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
And here we have the ability, Marcie, with the next team to make everyone's 2015 draft dreams come true with the Washington Capitals.
You want to know who I already had written down on my list?
If you say anyone other than Dylan Strome, I'm gonna make sure that you haven't been replaced by an imposter.
Right, be so real right now. Who else would I have put down?
I don't know. Leafs legend Rasmus Sandin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I just in the last 15 minutes start thinking, do I continue the Leafs legend bit? But then I was like, no. We need the little Mixture reunion.
Yeah, no, send Dylan Strome. I think, you know what? I think Alex Ovechkin will be pleased with the fact that he doesn't have to go to another All-Star game.
Alex Ovechkin will also be ill.
Yeah, and also I think as well, like, no offense to Alex Ovechkin, he's had a slow start to a season in terms of the goal scoring pace that we usually see from him. Also in terms of just I don't know about you if you've been watching any Capitals games. I've been watching quite a few. And we've talked about this on the podcast before in terms of the fact that just he's noticeably slow on the ice compared to his line mates. And so, you know what? He's got enough. I think he's going to appreciate that someone besides him is going to go. And I think it's time, we send Dylan Strome. I almost said Rasmus Sandin. I was like, Rasmus Sandin.
Now, and as well, Dylan Strome has had the best season of his life.
He's had a great season so far.
And I think we also need to reward him just for working wonders for my fantasy team.
It's really coming in clutch for that fantasy team, eh?
Oh, time of my life right now.
All right. I have our very last team, last but not least, with the Winnipeg Jets. I'm going to go defenseman. Sorry, Mark Scheifele. Josh Morrissey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Or if you want to go goalie, because Connor Hellebuyck has been actually insane in 27 games with a 9.20 save percentage. Send Connor Hellebuyck. I think Connor Hellebuyck could be your team representative. I think that's a fair representative. Yeah.
No, easy, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. That's 32.
My one suggestion for the Winnipeg Jets is if Cole Caulfield goes, I personally need to send Logan Stanley just so I can stand them next to each other. Because, again, I think that'd just be funny as fuck.
Oh my god, Logan Stanley's 6'7"? Jesus.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
Okay, well then, if you want someone else who's 6'7", just send Owen Power or Tage Thompson.
Yeah, no, we should just send the tallest guy on every team.
And stand
him Hill to be 2024 All-Star.
And send them and stand them all next to Cole Caulfield.
And just don't tell Cole Caulfield who's going.
Yeah.
And then he gets there and he's just like, I just has to fucking break his neck looking up at them.
Yeah. But we've done all 32.
We have.
So we'll see how right we are in our guesses on who's gonna go. We'll find out very soon. Find out an hour at least for the Eastern Conference. But yeah, also I don't know if you have anything else to talk about on the podcast.
I want to add in a quick little World Juniors.
Oh yes.
Update.
World Juniors.
Just as the gold medal game, Sweden USA. I want justice for Norway because I had
R.I.P. Norway. They lost their
I
regulation game to Germany. Yeah. So Germany will be coming back to the World Juniors. They will be coming back to Ottawa alongside Kazakhstan.
Which is exciting.
Rah rah Kazakhstan. In other World Juniors news as well, just because it has been. Minneapolis/St. Paul will host the 2026 World Juniors. So exciting to have World Juniors back to the state of hockey. I think that's really fun. Also, some little PWHL score updates.
Woo.
Ottawa lost in the most Ottawa way possible. 3-2 in overtime to Montreal. Because of course, but they did set the record for the highest attended professional women's game. I think it was the world record as well. So shout out to the hockey fans of Ottawa. Way to go. Way to fill up TD Place. And then also as well, also as well, Minnesota and Boston played yesterday. So that has every team has now played each other, where Minnesota beat Boston 3-2 in regulation. The next game is tomorrow, where Toronto takes on New York in New York at 7 p.m. Eastern. So
fun.
Cool. Yeah, no. We'll see. Hopefully Toronto can score more goals against New York than they did in their first game of the season. Hopefully, but that is all from us. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, I've covered everything.
I think we have covered everything. Kind of light on the news. We did spend a lot of time talking about the Leafs, and then we did spend a lot of time listing out our picks for the All-Star game. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you on on Monday, I think, will be our next show.
Yes.
Hopefully. We'll see I'm starting a new job on Monday, so we'll see how that goes. So, but then we'll be back for sure to our regular schedule in January, and we can truly get really excited to starting out 2024 with the podcast. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. You can follow the show anywhere on Twitter. Well, anywhere on, yes, you can on anywhere on Twitter, but you can follow the show on Twitter at From the Fourth Line. You can find the show anywhere you get your podcasts, and you can follow both of us on Twitter as well, at 60 Leaves for Marcie and at PearB1 for myself. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy, night off from Leafs hockey. And we will see you all.
Quiet.
Yeah, some peace and quiet. And we will see you all next time. All right, bye-bye.